Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Mavs Insider. I hope you're all doing great. Now, if you're a Dallas Mavericks fan like me, I know you've been hearing a lot of rumors surrounding Kevin Durant and the Mavs. It seems like every few weeks there's a new story or report about the possibility of Durant joining forces with Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, and the rest of the Mavs squad. And who wouldn't want to see a lineup like that, right? But, and I know some of you might, be feeling this too. The more these rumors float around, the more we need to dive into whether this actually has any chance of happening. So today, we're going to talk about the likelihood of Kevin Durant landing in Dallas this offseason, break down the latest news, and look at some reasons why this trade might not be as realistic as we thought. And of course, I want to hear your thoughts, so make sure to comment below, hit that like button, and if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to Mavs Insider to stay up to date on everything Mavericks related. Now let's dive into the heart of the issue. As we all know, rumors about Kevin Durant and the Mavs started circulating way back at the trade deadline. The whispers got louder when ESPN's Brian Windhorst reported that Durant is almost guaranteed to be traded this summer, especially considering that he's entering the final year of his current contract. And as always, the Mavs quickly became a potential destination. But before we all get too excited, there are some important factors we need to consider, starting with the latest report from insider Mark Stein. According to Stein, the Mavericks' interest in Durant might have been, well, a little overblown. Stein mentioned that the Mavs have been described as potential suitors for Durant both before and after the trade deadline, but he continues to hear that these reports are exaggerated. In fact, he goes on to say that, based on his sources, Dallas is not currently planning to form a big three with Luka, Kyrie, and Durant. So what does this mean for us Mavs fans? Well, it tells us that while the idea of pairing Durant with Luka and Kyrie sounds amazing, it's not necessarily the direction the Mavs are heading in. It's possible that management is focusing on other areas of improvement, such as building a deeper roster or improving defense, rather than trying to build another super team. Let's face it, the Mavs have been burned by high-profile trades in the past, and maybe they're looking to take a different approach this time. But that's just one piece of the puzzle. Let's talk about Phoenix's asking price for Durant, because that's another huge factor that makes this trade seem unlikely. According to Dwayne Rankin of the Arizona Republic, Phoenix's ideal return for Durant is reportedly 3 first-round picks and a young player. On top of that, the deal would need to be part of a multi-team trade, where the Suns could get under the second apron of the luxury tax. Now, just let that sink in. 3 first-round picks and a young player for a soon-to-be 37-year-old Kevin Durant. Look, Durant is still one of the best players in the league, no doubt. He's a walking bucket and would be an incredible addition to any team. But asking for that kind of return, especially with Durant nearing the end of his career, seems like a steep price to pay for a team that's already in a bit of a financial bind. And here's where the Mavs run into a problem. They simply don't have the assets to meet that asking price. Dallas doesn't have any control over their first-round picks from 2027 to 2030, and they've already traded away a couple of promising young players in previous deals. If you remember, they traded away Quentin Grimes and a few other assets. So, while they have Luka and Kyrie to build around, they're not exactly loaded with tradable assets that could sweeten the deal for Phoenix. On top of that, there's the issue of matching salaries. Durant's contract next season is worth a whopping $54.7 million, which would require a complicated trade to make the salaries align. The Mavs would likely have to move several key players, and that could disrupt the chemistry they've worked so hard to build since Kyrie arrived. Let's be honest, with all the uncertainty around Kyrie's long-term future with the team, adding Durant could throw the entire roster balance into chaos. So is a Durant trade completely off the table? Not necessarily. There's always a chance that the Mavs could get creative with a multi-team deal or find a way to make the salaries work. But at this point, the obstacles seem pretty steep. And with the Mavs already having 2 superstars in Luka and Kyrie, there's a real question of whether adding a third max contract to the mix is the best move for the team's long-term success. Here's the thing, Mavs fans, while the idea of bringing Kevin Durant to Dallas is exciting, the practical realities of the situation are tough to ignore. Phoenix's asking price is high, and Dallas simply doesn't have the assets to pull off a deal without drastically altering the roster. Plus, there's the question of team chemistry, salary matching, and whether Durant's age and contract situation fit with the Mavs' vision for the future. But that doesn't mean we should give up hope. The Mavs are always looking for ways to improve, and Nico Harrison and the front office are always working behind the scenes to make moves that benefit the team. The truth is, anything can happen in the NBA. Just look at the Kyrie trade last season. So while a Durant deal might seem unlikely, I wouldn't completely rule it out. There could be some creative solutions we're not seeing yet. That's where I want to hear from you, Mavs fans. Do you think the Mavericks should go all in on Kevin Durant, or do you think they're better off sticking with Luka, Kyrie, and the current roster? Maybe you think a different trade target is the way to go? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I love reading what you all have to say. And if you enjoyed today's video and want to stay updated with everything Mavericks related, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Mavs Insider. We've got plenty of exciting content coming your way, and you won't want to miss a thing. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and predictions in the comments. Should the Mavs trade for Durant, or is it best to keep building around Luka and Kyrie? I'll see you next time, Mavs Nation.